We all have it. There's one thing that holds us back from being the best version of ourselves at all times. Do you know what that is for you? Welcome to Break and Build, where we take a break from your day and build your life in a positive direction. I am your host, Billy Lutz, and today, we are going to get into probably one of the most impactful things. It may be on the shorter side of the episodes, but I really want to hone this in on for you guys because this is going to be called the Catalyst Crutch. So it's something that I was pondering around the other day, and I really thought about it. We all have it. Everybody has it. There is one thing that holds you back in life. It is always in the way for you. It is something that is like constantly coming up. You feel like you're starting to make progress, and then boom, it comes up again, or it's constantly revolving around, or you just can't get around it. It's going to be called, from now on out, the Catalyst Crutch, meaning it is a crutch that is holding you back, but once you break through that, it is going to be a catalyst to your life being a much better, happier, and sustainable place. So what is that for you? I know that you know exactly what that is. I'm going to be transparent with you guys. Mine is going to be my scheduling. And I'll give you a second one as a second option as well, and that's going to be my sleep. So I know that if I corrected those two things, I don't even have to think about what my Catalyst Crutch is. I'm totally real with myself. I don't want to BS myself. I don't want to BS anybody else. I want to be completely transparent, as I think it's all important. If you haven't got that messaging from me enough, is to be completely transparent and honest with yourself at all times, because not being honest with yourself only hurts you. Nobody else cares about what your Catalyst Crutch is. Nobody else cares about what you're eating and not eating. Nobody else cares about your diet, your exercise, your health, your mindset. Nobody really truly cares. It's only you that care. You're the only one that matters. When you can, guys, really start getting that you truly are the only one that actually matters, because you are going to be the one making a difference in the world. You are the one that's going to be making a difference in your family and your friend's life, and it's all about you. And it sounds selfish, but it's not, because you can't make a difference until you start owning yourself and transforming and transcending things that need to be transformed and transcended. And today is going to be the Catalyst Crutch. We need to get real with ourselves. What's that one thing? There's it. It's like the Jenga block at the bottom. It's like sitting on one block and it's teetering back and forth. There's one specific thing that if you pull that out, the whole Jenga block of BS that makes up your life is going to crumble down and you are going to be free. It no longer has a ton of Jenga blocks balancing delicately on your back, because you fixed that one specific thing that is holding you back. So I want to, if you don't know what it is, take the time out right now and reason with yourself. What is the one thing? And be completely honest and transparent, because you're only doing this with you. We're here, me and you together right now. And that's all that really matters. What's going to be the one thing that is truly going to hold you back from getting to that next level of productivity, of wealth, of health, of whatever it is for you that you really want to achieve and you're having trouble doing it? Like I said, mine is going to be my sleep and my scheduling. Those two things are going to hold me back from getting to the next level of wherever I want to be, because without adequate sleep, I am not going to be able to function at my optimal potential. My health is going to start to waver when I get into these situations. And I've noticed in myself that I run myself on not a little amount of sleep, I would say, but I'm constantly in this kind of like stressed out state in regards to my sleep. So when I get to situations, let's say Pokemon Go event comes up, because obviously most of you guys know that I do Pokemon Go, and it's going to demand a lot of hours, extra hours, and maybe some overtime filming and editing and interacting with fans or whatever that is. I do not have the reserves built up from consistent restful sleep to be able to easily handle that situation, because I'm already running borderline on being tired going into that event. So my goal for myself, and I'm doing this with you guys so that we can really start to be honest with ourselves, is to start building my sleep reserves to be ready, because all these things that I need to do in my life are going to require me to be built up in sleep reserves. I need to be ready to sleep. I need to be all the way rested. I need to be ready to go at all times. And when something does come up where it's like a day or two where I may not get as much sleep, that is going to be okay, right? That is where we want to be. We want to be proactively getting after those things. We don't want to be reactively trying to catch up on sleep when I'm already in the Saturday of the event. That is not going to be a productive thing for me. It's not going to be a productive thing for you. So what is that one thing that you can start taking away from or adding to your life? The second thing for me is going to be my scheduling. Scheduling has always been, I am having slight trouble mastering that. Not slight trouble, a lot of trouble, because I have a block in my head that me scheduling equals me being a pony in a show for a conglomerate company. What I mean by that is I like to be my own boss. I like to call my own shots. I like to be able to make my schedule for what it is. So that is a feel good for me, but in a productivity purpose or place, it does not handle it. So what I mean by that is, like, if I want to get my business to the next level necessarily, I'm going to need to be a little bit more regimented so that as more things come up, I will not be held back by my lack of scheduling. Because when I don't schedule or I don't use my planner, it's like my brain is constantly thinking like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Instead of me just quick referencing, okay, here's the plan. This is what we're executing today. This is what needs to get done. This is the video that needs to get done. These are the topics that we're covering. We need to do our podcast, or we need to do our cooking videos, right? So being that I have allocated myself into all these different places because I really actually enjoy doing these things, the scheduling is going to be the support that's going to bring me to the next level of all of that. And so for those two things, that's going to be me being real with you guys, for me. So what is that reality for you? Is it your diet? Is it, when I say diet, I don't mean going on a diet. I mean your dietary intake, your food. Is it going to be your food? Is it your sleep? Is it your workout? Is it your relationships? Is it your family? Is it a habit that you have? Is it smoking? Is it drinking? Is it drugs? Is there something there that you instantly know? And I probably said this, and maybe you wanted to lie to yourself, but you instantly had something that popped into your head that was like, bam, it's my food. Or bam, it's my daily drinks every single night. Or bam, it's me scrolling social media for a couple hours every single day, instead of maybe taking my time away from that and going into something that I would like to do more, as opposed to just following somebody else's life. Right? And social media and computers and cell phones have made that so easy for us to dive into something that isn't necessarily the best thing for our mindset. So I want you guys to really, really be aware of that. And then the next question you're going to ask yourself is, why does it hold you back? Or what is it holding you back from? What is that next step that you want to be, do, or have that this is holding you back from? For example, for myself, having sleep reserves. I like to go into events knowing that I am going to be sustainable throughout that whole event, and I'm not going to have to take a break and get introverted, because for me, I charge pretty well being an introvert. I know a lot of you guys may think that is not accurate or whatever that is to you guys, but it's very accurate. I'm actually introvertedly charging as opposed to always being extrovertedly charging. Like me going outside consistently and constantly interacting with people all day ends up being exhausting for me. Unless I can get that time where I'm away from all that stimulus and I'm by myself, that's when I recharge. So I am actually more of an introvert in that manner. Obviously, I'm around crowds of people and a bunch of different things, so I have no problem doing that. And I actually truly enjoy that. But in order for me to stay in balance with myself, I know I can't do that forever. But if I am well rested, my bandwidth for doing that activity is much higher. It makes it higher. So that is the catalyst for me. So I am committing myself to keep delving and getting more curious and always asking myself different questions. Okay, like if it was today, why did I not do it? Why do I feel like this is keep on happening over and over again? Here's are good questions for you guys. Is there something that's holding me back? Is there something that I'm afraid of that I might have to step into that is going to be encountered along going to my next step of me, right? Like there may be a fear in there. There may be some type of crutch, some type of personality adjustment, some type of letting go of something that may be making you feel good. Something in there is holding you back from being that next step version of you. And I want you guys to start being very curious with yourself and be more compassionately curious than condescendingly curious. Because sometimes for me, like I have to be a little bit harsh with myself, but giving yourself a label or a name, or, you know, calling yourself a drunk, or you're fat, or you're too skinny, or you're lazy, or whatever that is, that doesn't really help you. Like, that could be a pain motivator to maybe get you to do it one time, but consistently talking to yourself and reinforcing that type of mental programming is not conducive to make you to be the best version of you. You want to start lifting yourself up and encouraging yourself, and you have to be compassionate with yourself as you would to somebody else. Think about, say Tom comes to you, or Joe or Susie or whoever your good friend is, they come to you with a really big problem. More than likely, you're going to be pretty compassionate towards them, probably more compassionate to them than you would be to yourself. Make sure to use those resources that you guys do have, that you help people out with, to yourself as well. And so I am talking to myself as I talk to you guys, because I would say that is true for me as well. And then, so here's the next question. What would your life be like, or how would you feel if you got rid of, or conquered, or got beyond your Catalyst Crutch right now? What would your life be like? My life, I would be a whole lot more rested. I would be more productive. And all these things, as I'm talking about them, I already feel better. Like I'm like, wow, this would be really cool if this was actually me right now. If I was actually following this, it sounds amazing. I'm totally into this. I'm actually getting excited as I talk about. So what would your life be like if you were able to get rid of, maneuver around, create a new habit, whatever that is, around your Catalyst Crutch? What would it be? What is that for you? Because that could be intriguing enough that you could throw your fishing hook into and reel yourself into to be able to get there. I think that is a fantastic way to do so. So the most important thing for us is to, number one, identify it. We want to identify it. We do not want to leave it out. We do not want to lie to ourselves. Lying to ourselves is not going to do anything. It's actually going to create a big, vicious, downward spiraling cycle. We do not want to lie to ourselves. We do not want to be untruthful to ourselves, because if we're untruthful to ourselves, we're never going to be truthful to anybody else as much as you want to be, because the core of your being, and this is another thing that's been a new discovery or a new avenue or a new venture of mine in self-discovery, is that I have to come first. And I talk about that. It's not selfish. I have to take care of myself first. I can't be a martyr all the time and win with everybody if I'm not caring for myself. So my number one goal, your number one goal, is to be real with yourself, number one. Number two, find your Catalyst Crutch. You want to find what is holding you back in your life. Number three, get really curious about that in two different ways. Maybe why is it happening? Where did it come from? Are you afraid of anything? Is there something that is you don't want to face? Is there anything in there that maybe you don't believe in yourself, that you have guilt around something, that there's something that literally is irking you on the inside that may be creating this type of spiral for yourself? That three question. And then number four is get really curious about what would your life be like, and just fantasize here, if you were able to conquer this specific thing that has been holding you back for a long time. And then if you want to take it even one step further, in 5 years from now, if you made the Catalyst Crutch change today, how much different could your life become in 5 years? Because if you look back and you're on a growth path and you're following some type of goal, chances are you're a whole lot different, wiser, smarter, changed than 5 years ago. But what if that Catalyst Crutch is still there with you? Like for me, it's still there with me. And I look back 2.5 years from now and my life is so crazy different. I cannot believe it. Truly, I cannot believe how blessed I feel to have, I put in a lot of work to get here. And I just feel really fortunate that I was able to see a vision, stick to that vision, and actually follow through and execute on something in the long run for me. But now that I'm here, I'm like, man, what is actually possible if I had a little bit more energy every single day and I had a little bit more scheduling every single day? Like, how much more could open up for me? Like, what else could come into my life where I easily welcome that, as opposed to right now when it's like, geez, I'm full right now. Like, I can't handle anything more. And that's not really the truth. That's not the truth. That's kind of a story for me. The truth is, and if you find yourself in a story, please confront that story and be like, wait. Hold on a second. Because I've told myself the story, you're too busy. Is that true? It's not really true. Like, I am busy, but there's things that I could become more efficient at. There's always a better way to become more efficient. Remember, we don't want shortcuts. We want to become more efficient. That doesn't mean taking away from things. That means making sure everything is sustainable and then getting to that next level. So those are going to be the questions that you guys do pose to yourselves. I really want you guys to really get curious, empathetic, compassionate, caring, loving to yourself when you do this, and make sure to take yourself to that next level, because now is the time. There's no better time than right now. And if you can't do it today, maybe tomorrow. If you can't do it tomorrow, maybe in a week. But don't keep putting it off and creating that habit of putting it off when you can start doing it today. And I'm going to start committing to that with you guys today as well. So, Catalyst Crutch. It needs to be identified. It needs to be thought about. It needs to be reasoned through. It needs to be deciphered, understood, and you really know exactly what that is. We need to start getting that to the next level. So I want to take the time and just thank you guys for being here. If anybody has this type of Catalyst Crutch, and some of them are a lot more obvious than others, and if you don't know what it is for yourself, just ask somebody like, hey man, I'm just curious. If you were to tell me if there's one thing that I could do that would help me be infinitely more successful, what would that be? And if it's a good friend, they'll know exactly what it is. And you'll know that they're going to tell you exactly what it is because they tell you all the time anyway, because they're a friend. That's what true friends do. They're not just there to pity you or to make you feel better all the time. They're there to be honest with you and transparent with you as well. So yes, you want to have positive friends, but you also want to have friends that are going to tell you the truth about you and not just be like, dude, you're perfect. Like, how are you perfect? There's always room for improvements. And we want to be on a growth mindset together, because that's truly what it is. As we talked about with Dr. Daniel, optimizing our brain performance, we need to optimize our crutch away and optimize our individual performance of what we're able to do for ourselves. So, thank you guys for taking a break from your day to build your life in a positive way. I am Billy Lutz. I super appreciate you guys. I love you. Love yourself. Discover what you need to discover. And I'm going to see you guys out on the next episode.